The Taliban haven't won yet. Many Afghans want to vote. Hundreds stand in a queue waiting for hours to register. 5 years ago, many thought President Hamid Karzai's victory was a foregone conclusion. This time, there really is something to decide. Everything seems open.
We want reconciliation in our country. We want a government that fights injustice. And I want everyone to vote. Then there can be no fraud.
But democracy is weak in Afghanistan. The Human Rights Commission is forced to hide behind thick walls. It takes a half an hour of security checks to get to Seema Samar's office. She will be monitoring the election but worries about attacks. But she's pleased because the long lines are a good sign.
So they are ready to take risk in order to make the democracy a reality in this country. Of course, it's still a very long way to go, but I think it's a good sign.
Most Afghans want peace and think the government is corrupt. That's how presidential candidate Ashraf Ghani sees things, even though he's a former minister himself. The former World Bank employee is promising economic reform, and he's optimistic that reconciliation with the Taliban could succeed.
We are offering the hands of peace as an adorable peace. If it's rejected, they will be responsible. We are not going to dance around peace.
Abdullah forced Karzai into a runoff election that never took place. Now he's promising a new foreign policy. Like all the other major candidates, he wants international troops to stay in the country. Abdullah says Afghanistan must sign the security agreement, and the sooner the better. He says the country faces great uncertainty because the current government refused to do so.
Not signing it.
Candidate Salmai Razul was Karzai's foreign minister and is considered his favorite. Karzai could retain influence through him. Mohammed lives in the east of Kabul and has no plans to vote. He fled like many Afghans before him. His mosque received a threatening letter because it had registered people to vote. But now they're afraid.
I have my voter card in my pocket, but the Taliban have threatened us. If we go to vote, they will burn down our house.
Not far from his village, the Taliban gather in front of our camera. They warn whoever votes puts their life in danger. They consider democracy un-Islamic.
We're not interested in elections. Democracy has brought nothing good to our people. That's why we will not allow elections to be held in our country.
The Afghans seem determined they want this election. They're now hoping for a peaceful election day and a choice that is as free and fair as possible under the circumstances.